Finals is at stake as tonight maybe the hottest team in the NVA. The Las Vegas Ramblers, 9-1 on the year, take on a team that kind of backed its way into the postseason, the 3-7 LA Blaze. As well, Las Vegas, a team with high hopes to win a championship this year. First step is to get through the National Volleyball Association quarterfinals. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ira Thor, joined alongside Coach Matt Prosser, the head coach of the victorious OC Stunners, who will look to defend their championship beginning tomorrow in the semifinals. But today he will join us here in the booth for this one. The Ramblers, they have lost just once this year, and it was a controversial loss to a 9-1 Texas Tyrant squad.
Right.
And we'll see if they were able to start this postseason today with some fire.
Yeah, should be a very exciting match. LA Blaze not really finding their stride late in the season, right? They qualified for this position in the quarterfinals throughout a season of work, right? However, for the Ramblers, really finding their stride. When they're at full strength, they have some serious firepower on their side, and it's going to be a very big task for the Blaze to try to subdue these Ramblers and get the victory to move on to the semifinals tomorrow.
Well, if the Blaze are going to right the ship, it'll start with their head coach. And David Chaparro stands by with the third member of our crew, Noah Chas, in our pregame interview.
You made it here in the playoffs. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling so excited. You know, it's the first time in the league and first time the Blaze in the playoff, you know. The past 3 years, the Blaze no qualified to the playoff is so exciting.
This is a talented Rambler team. What was the game plan to try and move past them?
Yeah, man for man is the Ramblers team is very good, strong. It's amazing. Maybe 6-7 player over the season. You know, it's a good challenge. So I'm playing with the heart. You know, so strong, point at point. You know, one of the, you know, is the serving. The serving is very important. The Rumble outside is no very good passes. So one of my strategy is service strong.
Serve, receive, and serving, absolutely critical. Damani Lenore, Charles Belvin, your all-stars. How do you get them going?
Today, no star with the Charles Balvin. The Charles Balvin is the all-star. You know, for the matchup, for me, it's no good. So I'm trying to my best tall team, you know, for this matchup.
Absolutely, Coach. You're tweaking the lineup to get your tallest players out there. No Belvin in the starting lineup. Coach, wish you best of luck. Guys, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you. Well, interesting choice in the lineup. Obviously, they have the difficult task today of trying to slow down Brandon Rattray, and obviously the rest of this Rambler squad. Rattray is now the #1 scorer in terms of points per set in the NVA, but I mean, the Las Vegas Ramblers have weapons everywhere you look. It's going to take a lot more than putting your tallest lineup out there.
Yeah, and really the big question mark with that statement from Coach Chapa is, what's the Blaze going to do offensively to go back at the Ramblers, right? If Charles Belvin's not on the floor for them, the lefty, super dynamic, super explosive opposite hitter that he is, who's going to fill that role for the Blaze? That's going to be a very interesting situation to see unfold.
I don't think you could take an all-star off the court, especially when, if you're the Las Vegas Ramblers, you have the Matt Kanigis and 5 other all-stars that you could turn to. Brandon Rattray putting this team on his back in the second half of the year. Kanigi joined the team midway through and has certainly been one of the better players in the league since joining, but they have so many weapons as we look down. Jordan Hoppe is back.
That's someone that we haven't talked about very much. He wasn't at the All-Star game, although he qualified as an All-Star. He had some prior commitments. He wasn't able to play in that match. He wasn't with the Ramblers that weekend, and he's here today. So that's another big question mark as far as what the Ramblers can provide offensively, and expect a lot of things out of him as well this weekend.
And then, of course, don't forget the other weapons that they have, the guys that they could bring in. John Carlson, I believe they are missing only 1 player this weekend of their entire lineup. So, you know, for the Las Vegas Ramblers, that's an abundance of riches, and this will be a huge riddle for the LA Blaze to sort out today. They have not won since May 8th. They started the year 3-1. Well, dropped them all since then. And, well, as they continue their warm-ups here. We're going to send it over to the sideline for our second interview, and this is going to be with Miguel Monterola, head coach for the Las Vegas Ramblers. We'll see how confident he is about his team's prospects today.
Did your phone just ding? Audio, can't hear him.
How much does that impact you, play into your coaching?
You know, I honestly don't take anybody for granted. Like, it's the playoffs. So, I mean, the teams that made it here have the chance. So the last thing I want to do is just take advantage of the record that we have and just take it easy against a team that doesn't have the same record. So I told the boys the last couple of days, hey, you know, you guys work really hard to get to where we're at. Make sure you take care of business on Friday.
How much of an example is that last match, a 1 seed and a 4 seed, just like you guys in the Blaze, going all the way to 5? I mean, does that change the way you approach the match at all?
No, not at all. Honestly, like, we have a goal in mind from the beginning of the season, and it's get into the finals. So this is one step on the road that we're going to have to accomplish in order to get to
come back to us and start the match.
If there's one thing you want to see from your team in this match, what is it?
I can follow rules.
I want them to enjoy the moment. I want them to understand that we worked extremely hard to get here, and I want to make sure that they don't just let the moment go by. Take advantage of the time that we have. Enjoy the moment because it's very unique. Take advantage of the day.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach. Wants his players to enjoy the moment. Here we are, last match of our Friday for the quarterfinals on ESPN. Enjoy the moment. The message from the Ramblers head coach.
A year ago, the LA Blaze did not make the postseason. They went to the last day knowing that they needed a sweep.
Yeah.
Didn't get it. Lost the first set, in fact, of their final match of the year, and knew and finished out the regular season knowing that they were done. This year, because of the conference that they were in the National Conference, and you look at who was below them in the standings: Chicago Untouchables, Seattle Sasquatch.
Right.
They had a little bit of a margin for error. Started, like we said, 3-1, but you look, as I look at the results here on the year, had 6 losses in a row. I don't know. What is the answer, say, for the LA Blaze? If you don't have Belvin on the court, how much do you have with Damani Lenore that's really going to be that spark plug?
Damani Lenore, obviously one of the most high-flying middle attackers we have in the NBA. He's an all-star, can do some very amazing things on the offensive side of the ball, can get a couple of monster blocks as well. Just an all-around amazing athlete. However, the Blaze have to pass the ball. They have to find some rhythm, and they have to find some cohesion as a team, which has been something that they have really been lacking all season long. And, it's going to be a very big uphill battle, as this is clearly a lopsided, on paper, a lopsided matchup between these two teams. But sometimes, as they say, today's a great day to make it a great day, right, for the LA Blaze if they're able to pull off a monstrous upset here and a bit of a long shot. But they got to do their best, have some fun, try to find a rhythm, and just see what kind of magic they can pull out of their hat.
And speaking of players out there, as you were talking, I was glancing out to see if they had Travis O'Gorman. I have not seen him. He may not be available this weekend. That is your other major weapon, all-star caliber player. And we'll see if the LA Blaze, maybe if they have a little miracle juice, in the Southern California gymnasium today. They
need more than a little, Ira. They're going to need quite a lot.
Las Vegas Ramblers, a team that many of us are picking as the team that's going to win the championship this year. I know you may disagree as the head coach of the OC
people
Stunners.
Made that pick, but no, I mean, it's really shaping up to the Final Four here after this match tonight is shaping up to be very exciting, semifinals and finals over the next 2 days, but not to get ahead of ourselves. We've got one more match here to take care of, and it should provide some exciting volleyball as well.
It is interesting how the temperature in the room changes. When the year started, I mean, I'll speak for myself, team that I thought was going to be that team this year, and they still very well may because they punched themselves a ticket to the semifinals. That is the Texas Tyrants. But second half of the year, it's been obviously New Jersey Freedom, now 11-0 on the year, surprising virtually everybody. But Las Vegas Ramblers have shown no weaknesses. They are in this spot because they have earned the top seed in their conference. And the American Conference, they own this year. We're going to see when we come back from break if they are going to be victorious in a quick match today, or if they're going to get challenged like the Dallas Tornadoes did to the New Jersey Freedom in the match that just concluded. We'll take a break and come back, get you set with the starters for this one, live here from the Pure Sports Center. We welcome you back to the Pierce Sports Center here in San Bernardino. Let's take a look at today's starting lineups. We will start with the 9-1 Las Vegas Ramblers. They have been on a run. They come in, well, we talked about them being 9-1 in the year. They only lost 5 sets to the Texas Tyrants. They've won 6 in a row. Michael Keegan gets the start at setter wearing number 4. Ryan Manoogian will be the libero wearing number 7. All-star Brandon Rattray, number 9 on the outside. He'll be joined on the outside by Jordan Hoppe, who in the first half of the year was a top scorer for quite a bit in the NVA. Definitely the top server. He still holds that mantle. Ryan Mather will be on the right side, and your middles will be number 17, Matt Carnegie, and number 32, Josh Duarte for the Las Vegas Ramblers. LA Blaze 3-7 on the year, lost 6 straight. Their last win came against the Seattle Sasquatch back on May 8th. Steven Rotter, first time we've seen him. He wears number 2. He'll be on the outside with Rafael Cruz wearing number 10. The middles today will be Pepe Rodriguez, number 3, and Damani Lenore, the all-star, wearing number 4. Meanwhile, we got Luis Carlos Ruiz Torres. He's the setter, and Joseph Cuevas is on the right side as we are underway here at the Pierce Sports Center. And swinging away to get things going. Now Mather getting involved right away. And how do you contain this lineup? You have a Mather, you have a Hoppe, you have this guy Brandon Rattray, who we, last year was one of the most dangerous players in professional volleyball in the United States. And we haven't even talked about Matt Carnegie.
Yeah, there's just so many weapons right now for the Ramblers, and especially right there on the serve. It's I don't know what the LA Blaze is going to be able to do.
Do you choose certain guys you want to target to try to slow down, or you just go out there and just...
There's just too many guys on the Ramblers side for the Blaze to slow down. I just don't think they're going to be able to do it, because if they slow down one guy, they've got so many other role players who can step right in and be just as offensively minded.
Well, if you give a team 3 balls,
All right.
they will take advantage, and that was the kill for Rodriguez. So the service here from the LA Blaze is too long, as that is missed by Torres. Torres, the starting setter at the University of Puerto Rico at Chibo. Tell you what, the LA Blaze, though, started hot here. They've come out to play. A team that, tell you what, Matt, maybe has their backs up against the wall before the match even started, but that's why you play.
Maybe, but you also have nothing to lose. I mean, it's a quarterfinal matchup here. You got to play your best brand of volleyball. You got to leave it all out on the court. We've been saying it all day, right? Win in advance, lose and go home. And you don't want to be that team that looks in the mirror and says, well, we could have tried a little bit harder, but our season's over.
That is rolled over by Hoppe. Collected here by the Blaze. They're going to go back row, reach out and stuff someone. Joshua Duarte, the first one of the match.
Josh Duarte doing a great job slowing down that big attack, committing to the corner and sealing the net to get that huge block there.
So Duarte, 6'6" middle, 30 years old. Nearly saved by Mather. You're allowed to do that if you can bring the ball back to your side of the court, and the same side it went out, but good effort, not paid off with a save. Side out here for the LA Blaze. Rodriguez out of San Sebastian, Puerto Rico. Oh! Carnegie getting a chance to swing away. Matt Carnegie, the former 6'7" middle out of Vassar College, with the monster kill. touch. Yes, he did. Collected by the Ramblers. And that was left short on the jump back by Jordan Hoppy. Look here for the first time serving Joseph Cuevas out of my neck of the woods, Newark, New Jersey. They have an airport there. I'm hoping to never use it again after we return from this trip. Fly out of Philadelphia, never get delayed there. Off the tape, collected by the Blaze. They're gonna dump this one over. So you don't do that. You don't send it right into the wheelhouse of Michael Keegan. He'll make you pay. Poor choice from LA. I guess they forgot that he was a
That's why you always go back to area 1 to the corner with that free ball.
Better pass by the Blaze. Reach out and stuff someone. All-star against all-star. Carnegie shuts down Lenore. Timeout on the floor as the Blaze find themselves in an 8-4 hole. We'll take a break. Come back for more here in San Bernardino. Test. Back here at courtside, Jordan Hoppy, who came into the day even missing half of the season as the top server in the league, and we'll see what damage he can do. Lenore skies for that one. What a play for the Ramblers to run that down, diving to their own bench, but at what expense? As slow to get up here is Jordan Hoppy. He's helped back to his feet by head coach Miguel Monterola, but see how much that took out of him. Gotta love the effort from not only Hoppy, but also from Nguyen, who completely laid out, almost took out each other. And it was all for nothing as the LA Blaze get the point, the side out, cut it to 8-5. Back to serve will be Stephen Roder.
Roder.
Stephen Roder. Stephen Roder back to serve here out of Long Beach City College, and see sun, misses too long.
Stephen Roder's been playing middle blocker for LA Blaze all season long, and now in the quarterfinal match he gets a shot to play outside hitter, which is more of his natural position, but a very interesting choice to see him on the outside here tonight in the quarterfinal.
First chance we see him in that role this year, as you said. One of the older players on the roster, now 34 years old. They go to Brandon Rattray, the first time we've said his name tonight. Dynamite, cross court. Those who are new to the NVA, remember that name, Brandon Rattray, one of the faces of the league, and deservingly so, because last year he carried the Ramblers to the NVA final. This year he's had help. That is a service error on the Ramblers on the backline violation. We've seen a lot more of those service line calls in the second half of the year. I don't know if the guys just taking more chances or the official seeing more of them or what, but that is blocked back on the attempt by Mather. They go to Mather a second time. A stab by Cuevas to save it, and he has to dump this over. Third chance, why not again? Mather, did he get the touch? Oh, you betcha. And Cuevas knew that he got caught.
Backcourt player touching that one, Joseph Cuevas. On the defensive side of the ball, not in the right spot to play that one, but goes out of bounds long, and now some serious issues for the Blaze now.
Head coach David Chaparro, you could hear him in the background, not happy with that. No, not good volleyball IQ there. Giving a free point to Michael Keegan and company, who is now serving. Massenet with the pass. Poked by Rattray. They go back row to Hoppy. Oh, a nice save there by Roeder. Another chance, Ramblers, Mather. That is blocked back and laying out for that one, giving up his body is Rattray. And it results in a kill for the Las Vegas Ramblers.
Nice defense that time from Blaze, but better counterattacking from the Ramblers and laying out to keep the ball alive and extending that rally and helping their teammates out, resulting in that point for Las Vegas.
When your best player is willing to give up his body, it says something about the resilience and the urgency to win of this team. And they uncork an ace as the Ramblers push the lead to 7. Michael Keegan, first ace for Las Vegas. And, well, David Chaparro, he has seen enough. Burns his second time out here in game 1. Ramblers up big.
Early morning.
So when I'm pressing the mute back button, the talk back button, when I'm on mute, you cannot hear me live. Well, I did say it on mute, so rather than talk back, it's the difference there. Back here courtside, the Blaze, I don't know what they talked about during the timeout, Matt, but they better figure this out quickly or this is going to get away from them. And that serve got away from Keegan.
I don't know how much talking there was, but there was definitely some, let's say, enthusiastic pushing going on by the coach, perhaps of elevated voice levels.
So you're saying he was not using his inside voice. They go to Duarte. He paintbrushes that one over. And he gets the kill for the Ramblers, who coming to this weekend, they don't have, at least today, they don't have one of their big weapons in Convene Vaz. Obviously, they got Jordan Hoppy back. They have John Carlson, who's back, and of course, Rattray is healthy again. Joel Auerkamp is not on the court. This is coming our way. Ace for Vegas. Brandon Rattray blitzes one.
Just pressure from every area on the court from Las Vegas Ramblers, really putting the test to the Blaze right now.
Go to Cuevas. He gets the touch for the kill. He's in that spot in the absence of Travis O'Gorman. And for those who don't know his story, O'Gorman is in the police academy. And obviously, a lot of these guys, majority of these guys, don't play professionally all year round. It's based on the season. They got to have a day job, and it's a pretty good job serving the public as a cop. Travis O'Gorman. See if he is available tomorrow. If by some chance the Blazers are able to bounce back and pull off the upset.
And it's going to be a tall task for sure, but perhaps he's available.
Listen, I'm trying to ingrain some optimism in our audience, if they're LA Blaze fans.
Keep that optimism up. You might get some more missed serves from the Ramblers.
You know, I was optimistic that I would get out here even after a 17-hour plane delay. I was optimistic. I texted you guys, I will be there. And suddenly, minutes before freedom, tornadoes, I appear like a ghost in the forest. And that's apropos because I kind of feel dead right now, traveling for basically a day straight to get here. But I'm glad to be with you guys. Never take an afternoon flight if you're on the East Coast, ever.
We're definitely glad you made it, Ira. Wouldn't be the same without you.
Probably lost 10 pounds sitting on a plane. There was no air conditioning. It was 98 degrees, as that is put away by Lenore.
Ira's ranting right now. What airline was it, Ira? Publicly shame them?
I'm not going to publicly shame the airline. Starts with a vowel. But I will say this, it's interesting. I did learn a lot during my ordeal as we have a substitution, and coming on to the court is the all-star Charles Belvin. He will take the place of Cuevas.
Yeah, LA Blaze going with the double substitution, also bringing in Mikhail Bastida, the back row setter now. He'll serve, giving 3 hitters through the front row for LA Blaze.
The lefty as well. Good serve from him. Oh, Belvin comes in and immediately pays dividends.
Charles Belvin going with the one-handed stuff down on the blocking move. Perhaps the spark LA Blaze needs right now, Ira.
In basketball, they have a 6-man. Maybe they needed an 8th man. Belvin comes in to give them 2 in a row. They go to Hoppy cross court, and he gets the kill. Wouldn't have mattered anyway, as the Blaze were into the net. Last comment I'll make on my ordeal is I did learn a lot that if you don't take off within 3 hours, even if you're on the runway getting ready to take off, FAA rules mean you got to turn back. However, we then sat on the runway for another 2.5 hours trying to get back to the gate so they could let us off. So
you could have flown cross country during that 5.5-hour wait.
Probably could have, but what's the use of having that 3-hour rule if they're just going to let you sit there for another 3 hours? 2.5 hours. Oh my God, I'm going to have a podcast about
You should write a letter.
I already wrote a couple tweets. Use some strong language too. But I'm happy to be with you guys as 2 teams that start with the letter L. Don't have to hop on a plane. Well, maybe the Ramblers did fly here. You can drive here from Vegas. I mean, quite frankly, with the inconsistency of airlines right now, if I lived in Vegas, I'm taking the 4-hour drive coming out here.
Control what you can control, Ira. Drive yourself next time.
Drive here from Jersey. I'd have to leave on Monday. Good pass from Massanet. And Damani Lenore, did he get it? He did not. That was wide. He wanted it. He tried to will it. No mas. Hand the ball to John Carlson. The youngest players on the roster. He's 23 years old. Leaves that one short. It's still a 7-point lead for the Ramblers. And the only loss this year for Las Vegas came in that match we talked about against the Texas Tyrants. All the way back on May 7th. They haven't lost since. That next day was the last time the Blaze won. They haven't won since. And that is too long. Here's Keegan. A little miscommunication there. Chance here for the Ramblers to capitalize, and Brandon Rattray dug up. Collected off of the net. They go back to Mather. Oh, and a misplay by Roeder. Stuck out his arm. That one was sailing out of play.
Well, credit to the Ramblers to continue to play. Nice deflection off the block, but they were able to play it again, get a second chance opportunity to swing, and then finally score on that right side attack.
Blaze doing themselves no favors, Matt.
This is definitely a situation where they have to play nearly flawless volleyball, and they've already sacrificed way too many errors here in this set so far.
Not only play flawless volleyball, not shoot yourselves in the foot, and they've done that on at least 2 occasions with some questionable back row defense, and find themselves in a 22-14 hold. Belvin to serve. Belvin is a high flyer. Keegan runs that down. Mather goes head hunting. Belvin couldn't handle that offering. And 1, 2, 3, Brandon Rattray will serve. So Rattray, your server. Free ball chance. Oh, attacking on 2. Smart play there, sensing it was too tight, and Bastida puts it down.
Now Bastida showing his veteranship, shall we say, in the front row, going on the option play as a left-handed setter. Really opens up a couple of attack angles for him to really take advantage of.
Can you talk about how a left-handed setter can change a game? Because there's not too many of them in the league.
Well, it just makes it easier for them to attack, whether it's dumping or attacking a hit like we just saw from Bastida. Just opens up more angles than a right-sided or right-handed setter can work with.
Good insight there from Coach Matt Prosser. Belvin, that one was collected by the Ramblers, and then a big-time stuff down for the LA Blaze. Combination there of Roeder and Rodriguez. So they're not done just yet. Still trailing by 7. And Rafael Cruz out of Greenwood, Indiana, unleashes the ace. Cruz is 25 years old. Good pass for Ramblers against a tough serve, and that is poked wide by Hoppy. So the LA Blaze showing some fight here late, Matt. They've pulled within 5. And we will see a substitution here. Carnegie back in, and that allows them to bring in their libero. The very reliable Ryan Manoogian.
Good service pressure from LA Blaze. Might be a little too late, but getting some momentum on their side was always helpful.
Hoppy cross-court misfires. Some confidence here building from the LA Blaze, and the Ramblers are going to want to slow this one down. They'll take a timeout, up 4. More to come here in game 1. So the LA Blaze have shown us something. Down by almost double figures, they've been able to whittle this down to 4. And Cruz will continue to serve, but not now. That one just long. Immediately, they signal for replay, and the most adamant was the libero, Ricardo Massanet. This one will be challenged, whether that was in or out.
Pretty quick trigger finger on that one to throw in the challenge call.
Now, actually, I do think it's a good challenge, too. Number 1, because of the point in this set. That can make it a 3-point game, 23-20 if they do win it. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's at a point of the stage, the set, when all the momentum's on your side, and if you were to win this point, somehow sneak away with this challenge victory, it would be a huge turn of events to get you that much closer that that momentum can continue to carry you with.
Yeah, the reason I thought it was a good challenge is I thought it was it.
Well, Matt and I were the Rambler bench looking over and pointing either fingers up, signaling out, or the little inch sign saying, inches away, but still out. So they seem to be firm and believe that that ball was out.
It's going to be close. From my angle, of course, I do have the barriers, the team barriers in front of our table. I don't have a perfect angle, but I thought I saw compression on the line.
And the team bench isn't always the most reliable, but there are times when they see it and they'll admit it. They'll go, oh, that ball is in. But they seem to say, just out. So, again, they're skewed. They're biased the way they view the court from their side.
It's also interesting to see the body language from them. Do they have a poker face or any kind of a tell that they knew it was actually in and want you to believe it was out? LA Blaze seemed pretty enthusiastic about that one. The libero, Ryan Manugian, looks over to us and he gives us that just out signal with the 2 fingers. So that's what the unofficial call is from the man who would see it best, the libero for Las Vegas. Steven Shepard is the official, and he's going to signal that this ball I believe they're going to say this ball was actually out. So the looks like the system actually might be down on that camera. It may not be a conclusive recall. Here they go to Charles Belvin. And that one too long. And the Ramblers have set point. The Blaze were so close.
And no, Matt and I, it looks like there was actually a touch on the block. It wasn't called. They were going to challenge, but the Ramblers player said, no, I touched it. Just take it. No need to go to this challenge for this one.
So an overrule, and that becomes a kill for Belvin. And Belvin, it looked like from his body language that he thought he had that immediately. Good serve from LA. Cannot save it. It's not an ace, but it's close enough. As Las Vegas showing a little bit of trepidation here late.
Still 4 more opportunities for set point, though, for Las Vegas. So with Nicholas Dennis back to serve now as his jump serve gets a service ace.
How big is that challenge now? 24-22, had that ball been overturned, we'd be talking about a tie at 23-all. But no margin for error for Nicholas Dennis out of Palos Verdes, California. Oh, and he gets the ace. Hoppy sticks out the arm, and he'll be hopping mad. The LA Blaze are doing the unthinkable. They have pushed the Ramblers here in game 1. Las Vegas timeout, back for more in a moment. Back here courtside, LA Blaze. Nicholas Dennis, can he carry them to a tie? Set point number 4. Rattray with a better pass. They go to Mather, and he gets the trickle off the tape and the block to end it in dramatic fashion. We talked about how the LA Blaze could beat the Ramblers. They almost figured it out, but the Ramblers hold on 25-23, and they lead 1-0. Matt and I will be back for game number 2 back here in the Pierce Sports Center after this break. Set number 1 is in the books. The Las Vegas Ramblers, well, they hung on because you look at the breakdown of the scores, 16-8 at the midway point, 21-13. Think about that right there. 21-13. 10 of the final 14 points were scored against the LA Blaze. Can't really point your finger at one thing that the Blaze did right. I think it was a lot of, making the Ramblers make the mistakes.
Well, Ramblers made 6 serving errors in 1 set, so that's not a very good stat to be leading. So yeah, when you're going to make some errors and allow a team back in, coupled with the offensive effort and the momentum that LA Blaze was able to build up at the end of set number 1, it's kind of a good mix of what they need to do in order to try to stay in these matches and these games here.
Ryan Mather carried the bulk of the load, 8 kills. In fact, 8 kills and 12 swings for him. He was blocked just 1 time. 13 kills as a whole for the Ramblers. That means just 5 for the rest of the team. And what I certainly want to point out is not only is Brandon Rattray only got 1 kill, it's only been set twice. Top, most dynamic scorer in the NVA. They won that match without him really being involved.
Well, I mean, a part of it is player management too, a little bit. I mean, this is going to be, in order to win, you have to win 3 days in a row, 3 matches in a row. And that's a tall task for a lot of these players that are somewhat common and used to playing maybe 2 matches back-to-back days, but definitely not 3 in 3 days. And so, yeah, I'm sure Ben and Retro will get many more opportunities as this match progresses and well into the weekend as well.
Well, they were used to playing 3 days in a row last year. That's one of the most notable changes to the NVA this year. If you are new to the league, not only did we institute the challenge system, which has completely changed the course of matches this year, certainly a great addition. But last year we had 4 events, including the playoffs, and you played 3 days in a row. Well, this year it's more spread out. During the regular season, 3-day weekends, you played 2 of those 3 days, either Friday, Saturday, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Sundays. Obviously, that's probably the best schedule, have that Saturday off in the middle. And it's kept players fresh. It's done what it's supposed to do, extended the season, of course, to 6 weekends, but there's a lot more volleyball to watch. As we start game number 1 with an error by Rafael Cruz. So here's Brandon Rattray, and well, not the prettiest start to game number 2. Here's Rodriguez, 2 kills and 3 swings today. We go to Joshua Duarte, and he's able to unleash his second kill on 3 swings.
Well, I'm glad that we got to serve over the net so we could see some volleyball, but if you're LA Blaze, I don't think you should be serving to the player in the opposite colored jersey, Ryan Minucci, in the libero for Las Vegas Ramblers, putting that pass right on a dime for them to side out.
They leave it for Belvin, who gets the start in this set. Wise decision. Ever since he came in, the Blaze were a different team, and he's able to uncork that one as he celebrates the kill. Charles Belvin running out of the building. By the way, Carlson is out there for Hoppy. Hoppy in that first set, Matt, -6. Hit 11%. 1 kill, 5 errors, 9 swings. Not getting, gonna cut it. And they're gonna need him to get, figure things out if they're gonna win this championship. Obviously, you can have a shaky match here against an LA Blaze team where you have just way more weapons than they do. That's not gonna cut it if they advance to take on the Tyrants for the second time. Carlson's saying, no way, I didn't touch that. But the lead official in the chair, Dennis Franceschini, says, nope, you committed the violation. I don't think that's challengeable.
And I think Ira Carlson's saying, he touched it, but he's saying I went straight up. That was reaching over by the setter, that he was not infringing on his set. But to no avail.
Yeah, it's still very early on here in this set to use a challenge on that play.
And a big blast from Jonathan Carlson. His first swing of the match.
What a beautiful 1-2 punch by the middle, and Jonathan Carlson on the outside, and what a way to answer.
Really nicely run tempo play there, and Jonathan Carlson just signing a contract overseas to go play in Portugal next season.
One of the many players that are playing in Europe and across the world representing the NVA. Cruz, he's able to land that one. Nugian tried to duck and cover, but to no avail. 4-4 game here early on in game number 2. Blaze need to take this one. Don't like their chances if they have to fight back from a 2-0 deficit. And quite frankly, like their chances anyway, but they showed us something in that first set to give you some belief that they can compete today. That one too long.
Just a lot of service errors from both sides, trying to really put their opponent on the defensive situation of their serve reception, but a lot of missed serves so far here in this match.
Belvin, not the cleanest looking set in the world. That is blocked back by the Ramblers. Belvin getting a chance to swing, and the lefty misses long. Carlson laid out just in case that might have clipped the back line, but stayed away from it. And Belvin saying, do not challenge this one. Head coach David Japaro had some ideas there maybe to take a look at it. And Belvin was insistent, nope, nope, not worth it. Reach out and stuff someone. Joshua Duarte, his second solo rejection of the day.
Nice read blocking there by the Ramblers. Josh Duarte, the middle, keeping his hands up high on that perfect pass and then just getting up and over the net to stop the Blaze attack through the middle that time.
Cruz, Carlson there for it. They go to Rattray, third swing. Gets this one. And the Ramblers have opened up an 8-5 lead. Brandon Rattray started the day. Second leading scorer in the league behind Felix Chapman. Big swing from Belvin out of the outside, saved by Rattray with one arm, but it's not going to stay on the court. Last touched by Ryan Mather. Ryan Mather, who just signed as the assistant coach with the Lafayette College, I think they're the Leopards, out in Easton, Pennsylvania. I saw it on Instagram, so it's got to be true. As Rattray puts it away.
Congratulations to Ryan. I didn't know he was looking to join the women's volleyball coaching ranks.
I mean, unless there's somebody else named Ryan Mather. There's only one Charles Belvin, though. And he laces that one down the line.
The funny thing is that Ryan Mather's a left-handed hitter. And in this picture, he's clearly hitting that ball right-handed.
So either they used the wrong photo or there's actually another Ryan Mather out there. Wouldn't that be something? Well, maybe you can't believe everything you
We'll have
see
to
on
ask
Instagram.
Ryan after the match for some clarification on that one.
Well, I hope it was him because I congratulated him on the job. So
I got the same
And he didn't-
Instagram post here that I'm showing.
he didn't react oddly. So I think it's him.
Maybe he's ambidextrous.
That's definitely Ryan Mather. I coached Ryan in high school, and that's definitely Ryan Mather's face. Just not his body.
Are you saying there's a Photoshop job on the job announcement posting?
Mather will be going from the Pacific time zone to the Eastern time zone. I'll give him some travel advice for next season.
And Ryan Mather
Don't fly
actually
to Newark.
has a lot of family in Philadelphia in the East Coast region. So, and he's an Eagles fan. So, Ryan, and go Birds to you.
I was a big fan of Ryan Mather. It has slipped ever so slightly now that I know the fact about his football allegiance, but you know, not everybody is going to be good at everything, and his choice of football teams is a poor one. Charles Belvin, one of the highest flyers in the National Volleyball Association, will drop back to serve his team on themselves in a 2-point hole. You go to the 7-language man, or is it 6? Ryan Carnegie. Matthew Carnegie. Ryan Mather. Imagine if you combine them into one player, Ryan Mather and Matt Carnegie. That'd be the unstoppable force right there. They're pretty unstoppable on their own. And that one is left short by Mather. He will keep that one off the highlight tape that he shows his new players out at Lafayette, who may be watching this one to check out the game that their new coach has. He's got some game, folks. He's already here in game 2, nearing double figures in kills. Carlson with the pass. They're going to go to Mather. And he misses that one wide. And it wouldn't have mattered anyway. He was over the 10-foot line, back row attacker. That one's wide. Here's John Carlson. That's going to carry over the net, sent over by Lenore. Here's Mather, splits the gap for the kill. That will put him into double figures. 13-10, three-point lead. The Ramblers are being challenged way more than we could have ever expected. Makes for a much more interesting quarterfinal matchup. And that one, misfire there from Damani Lenore. And you can tell by his reaction, he knows he missed a golden opportunity.
Yeah, it was, but you got to give credit to Matt Carnegie, the blocker for Ramblers, getting his hands up and over and making Damani look before he hit. Took away some of those angles, results in the hitting error.
These guys have literally split seconds to take that look and make a decision. You think it's easy? Try it yourself. And there, for the first time today, we see an ollie. A dump by Mikel Bastida. Side out for the Blaze. We've named that play, that setter dump, as that is an ace for Lenore. We named that play after the official canine of the National Volleyball Association. That's our partner, Nick. England's new puppy, Oliver. How many other pets in the sports world have a play named after him? Here's Rattray swinging away. That's too long. His first error. No touch, and that means that the Blaze are within one. Carnegie pauses for a moment, ties his shoes, and use them to mop up some perspiration out there on the court. Shoes are not as absorbent as towels, but sometimes they get the job done. Here's Lenore, tries to dump this one in. In the middle, Carnegie, oh, electric. Matt Carnegie is fired up, and he'll drop back to serve. 2-point lead for the Ramblers.
That's some more emotion and celebration than I've seen from Carnegie on a kill pretty much all season. Normally he's very, businesslike, and he knows what he's doing, but he let his teammates know he was jazzed up about that one.
Yeah, that's a great point from you. As he leaves that one short, much more reserved than, most of our explosive players in the league.
Now, too bad. Unfortunately, he followed it up with a service error into the net. So,
used up all his energy celebrating.
Too much energy, right?
Big serve from Bastida. Rattray, he misses long, but he got a touch, and he won't need it. He was pointing for a replay. He doesn't need to because the officials make the call for the Las Vegas Ramblers. And at 16-14, that's going to take us to our technical timeout here in game number 2. Ramblers up a set to none and up 2. Back for more when we return to San Bernardino. Michael Keegan, your server for the Ramblers after our second set technical timeout. Blaze still in this. Charles Belvin says, let's get this going. Blast that one through. Yeah, still Boggles my mind that Belvin wasn't in the initial starting lineup. Maybe that ultimately cost the Blaze that first set. That's service by Cruz is wide.
Service errors continue to mount for both teams throughout set number 2 here. 12 service errors after the first set. We're getting something close to that here halfway through set number 2 as well.
A server rat trail carried off the court, saved by the Blaze. And good defense there by Keegan on the Blaze attack. Here's Ryan Mather. And Duarte makes sure it doesn't come through. Josh Duarte shutting the window on the Blaze. 18-15 here in game 2. And the winner of this one will play tomorrow at 6 p.m. or correction, at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. in our first semifinal against the Texas Tyrants. And we have a timeout on the court, so we'll take one as well. Come back for more here at the Pierce Sports Center. Back here at courtside. After the Blaze want to discuss that one. They're still in striking distance, down 3, but got to control the serve here from Brandon Rattray. Big attack there from Roeder. Chance here for the Blaze. They go to Belvin. And that draws the Ramblers into a blocking error.
Net violation called against Carlson, the wing blocker out there for the Ramblers. Just a little too aggressive on that move.
You know, as a blocker, obviously Charles Belvin gives you a very different look than a lot of the right sides in this league. Can you talk about just why his approach and his way he swings off the net like that makes it so difficult for a pin blocker?
Well, it's so dynamic and explosive, right? As a blocker, you try to sometimes want to match, right, that dynamic move in the air and think you have to try harder to block the ball because you see what Charles Belvin can do in the air, and he's left-handed, so you play some mental games there. You're trying to change the angles, and as a blocker, instead of pushing so aggressively that you net, you really just want to keep it simple, protect the area of the court that you're responsible for, and make a good disciplined move instead of overexerting yourself and resulting in that net violation.
As Belvin misses that one, he believes he got a touch. And that will not be the call from Francisini. He's going to get a warning, Belvin is. Don't hit the net in frustration. But I think you make a good point. You're going to keep it simple there. You're not going to match the athleticism of a Charles Belvin or Damani Lenore. They're just too dynamic. Keeping it simple will prevent that from happening. And that one, smart play there, high IQ from Stephen Roeder to beat Ryan Mather. Substitutions coming here from the Blaze. As re-entering is Carlos Torres. Torres is going to serve here for the Blaze. Nugian collects that one. It would have fallen in play. This is dumped over. A pancake, but not a reaction enough from the LA Blaze. Ricardo Massanet laid out, got his hand cleanly underneath. Teammates, however, failed to recognize it.
Yeah, not the prettiest play we've seen in this match, but good effort from Ricky Massanet. Just a little more support from his teammates there to get on the floor for him as well and help him out on that one.
Well, Jordan Hoppe, 20 aces, by far the most in the NVA, averaging almost 1%. That's not an ace, but it's close enough. It creates a free ball and an easy put down for Carlson.
Yeah, that won't go down in the record books as an ace, but basically it was, resulting in the overpass and an easy point for the Ramblers.
20 aces for Hoppe. West has 19. Nick West for Euros, stunners. But Nick West has not missed any time. Hoppe's missed half the season. Very impressive that Hoppe's been able to do that basically as a part-time player.
Yeah, it
He
certainly
comes
is.
out. And that's obviously no disrespect to Nick West, because Nick West by himself got 19 kills. That's 6 more than the next player in the league, his teammate Matt Hilling. So, I mean, Nick West for a middle to be able to have 19 aces on the year is certainly worth noting. As big swing from the back row, Stephen Roeder with the result. That's his 4th kill. Lead is 3 for the Ramblers. Blaze were down 21-13 in the first set, but got themselves back. What a save by Manoogian to save that one. Chance here for LA and a broken play. And Ryan Manoogian and company, incredible defense, and the Blaze beat themselves.
Now you got to applaud the effort from Ryan Manoogian, the libero, number 7 in white for the Ramblers. Scrambling and just able to get the ball over the net to extend the rally, and it results in that point. And now the Blaze call a timeout to discuss.
Their final timeout. We'll take one as well. Back for more Game 2 here at the Pierce Sports Center. So the Blaze after the timeout, well, trying to work their way back in. They're down 23-19 as Carlson will serve. All it takes is one side out. Starts there with Lenore.
That's something that the Blaze can do a little bit more of if they're able to, is run the ball through the middle. With Damani Lenore activated. It's been good offensively, and now he'll get replaced by Nicholas Dennis to serve through the back row.
Dennis had a big spark in that late first set run for the Blaze. 4 serves, 2 aces. Got them within a point, 24-23. But not this time.
That'll bring the Ramblers to set point. 4 set point opportunities for them as we get our first look at Ryan Schickling coming into the match to serve now.
Schickling, the mainstay of this team. He's 30 years old later this year. Cruz dumps that one down the line. And we'll play on. Belvin returns after the previous substitution. We'll see Joseph Cuevas to serve, try to keep the Blaze alive. And this second set is extinguished on the service error as the Ramblers prevail 25-21. They're 9-1 in the year, and they're set away from the NVA semifinals. Back for more Game 3 coming up next here on the West Coast. Well, the Las Vegas Ramblers have put themselves in position to get redemption perhaps tomorrow against the Texas Tyrants. The only loss of the year came in a very competitive 24-22 fifth set. Think about it, 5 sets, if you go 5 sets, you need 15 to win. It went 24-22. That's what we might be in store for tomorrow. The Ramblers can win one more set. He's Coach Matt Prosser. I'm Ira Thor, and taking a look at the numbers from that first 2 sets. What are you seeing,
Yeah,
Matt?
something that goes against the LA Blaze. 14 service errors in 2 sets. That number is way too high. 4 service aces, so points off of those serves, but 14 errors is a very high number. Offensively, they're attacking at 45% hitting efficiency. That's not too shabby, actually, but they're just giving up too many points. And when you play the Ramblers, you just can't do that. Really shooting yourself in the foot.
Ryan Mather was actually rather quiet in that second set. Only had 1 kill, but he got some help. Carlson up to 4 kills and 5 swings. Brandon Rattray has been utilized a little bit more now, 4 and 7. Pretty consistent across the board for the LA Blaze. Not crazy numbers, but they do have Roeder with 5 kills and 8 swings. They do have Belvin in 1.5 sets, 5 kills and 10 swings with a couple errors. Everybody else has got a couple, so
Damani Lenore really not finding his stride offensively, only hitting 29% so far. 2 points off of 2 attempts with 2 errors and a block against him. So that's something that LA Blaze really needs to get activated here in set number 3 if they want to push this match into overtime or even a 4th set here.
So as we are having the lineups checked here by Stephen Shepard, one of the veteran referees here in the NVA. We have to thank our dedicated officiating crew. It's been largely, with some exceptions, the same crew throughout this 2022 season. Certainly, the referees this year have had so much more on their plates with this challenge system. They have been up to the test, that is for sure. And it's all part of the evolution of the sport. It's part of men's volleyball on the professional level, taking a huge jump this year across the United States. Keegan, your server to start our 3rd set. Roeder swinging away, and nothing you can do there if you're Ryan Manoogian. Went high, tough to defend. Those fans out there who are new to the NBA, Ryan Manoogian, he's deaf. He can't hear. So he is one of the most interesting players in professional volleyball because he can't communicate with his teammates the normal way, and still one of the most dynamic players libero-wise in the NBA. But no match there for Charles Belvin was anybody on the Ramblers side of the court. That's a tough read, too. I'm watching that play develop. Manoogian went to take line because Belvin loves to attack line, and he carved out a middle part of that court. Here's Brandon Rattray from the right side getting involved.
Well, good thing for the Ramblers they have Brandon Rattray because he's been able to clean up any situation that they get in with a less than perfect pass. Rattray gets a set in a little bit of a tight spot, but able to score the point.
Rattray powers that one through the net. Here's Belvin again. And that one won't find the court. Belvin frustrated with himself there. Looks like the Ramblers pulled back the hands and forced Belvin to dance that one off the tape. So here's Rattray one more time. Oh, and he uncorks the ace. Second ace for Brandon Rattray, 4th for the Ramblers. And Lenore make it a point here for the LA Blaze. As he puts one away in the middle. That's one way to take Brandon Rattray off the service line.
Well, like we talked about between sets, they need to get Damani Lenore activated a little bit more. His hitting percentage not quite where it needs to be for the Blaze, and that's a good start here for him in set number 3.
Here's Belvin, your server, deep float. Not the cleanest looking in the world, but they're not going to call a double, despite the pleas from the LA Blaze bench. Mather able to stick that past the combination of Roeder and Lenore. He picks up the kill. Carnegie back in the court. That's bad news if you're the LA Blaze. Joshua Duarte, your server. Rattray from the back row, too long. Ball goes back to the Ramblers, and LA wants to know why. And I think there's a question of whether there was a touch, Matt. Did you see one? I did not. But
From our angle, I had a hard time seeing a touch. So it was initially called out of bounds on the attack from Rattray. However, Ramblers want to use a challenge here on the block touch in order to get the overrule.
Rattray seems to believe that he got the touch. We'll see what's picked up on our replay system. We mentioned Joshua Duarte. He is the other middle this week and released today because Kavin Vaz, as we mentioned, is not available. Antoine Aguillard also not available. Carnegie's your top middle, and that's unquestionably he can make a case that him, Nick West, probably been your top 2 middles this year in terms of most impact in the league. All right, let's take a look at this replay. Was there a touch? Looks like there was a change of direction. Watch that ball flutter, Matt.
I'm also going to watch the fingertips of Damani Lenore of the right hand there. Potentially be a micro touch.
Looks like it changes direction and goes up ever so slightly. Ball's going down, and then does it go up after the touch? Real zoom in here from our replay camera. Obviously this is a vertical picture because you're trying to capture the entire plane of the net. I don't know, I see a touch there, Matt. What do you think? In real time, I didn't think so.
And here's a moment, Ira and Matt, where a poker face plays off, because I think Damani knew it may have grazed him, but he also knew it was such a light touch that let the replay prove it. And he just kind of kept himself silent and slid off to the side.
Well, ultimately it didn't matter what matter, I thought. Officials have the final say. And they rule that the Ramblers lose that challenge. Here's Carnegie getting a chance to run in the middle. 5-4 lead for the Ramblers. It'll be Ryan Mather. Cruz swinging away. Carlson up for the task. Carnegie. And on the over ball there off the block. Damani Lenore, one of the highest touches in the league, if not the highest. Said, I'm just going to close this out.
Sorry for the giggle, but Damani Lenore just jumped so high. It's just, can't do anything but kind of laugh at that and be like, gosh, it's just takes the ball at such a high point.
If there's one player you want to just go up and grab something at its highest point, I mean, Damani Lenore is certainly in that top category.
I mean, he's touching close to 12 feet out there. I don't know if there's anybody, including Charles Belvin, in his category.
other than yourself, Ira, especially back in your prime.
My
I'll be
prime,
honest.
I couldn't jump that high if I was on a ladder. And Mather able to slip that past Belvin again. Upset with himself. Can't believe he didn't pass that one, and Carlson will serve. Although I will say, during the last event, my partner over here on the sideline, Noah Chast, and I went into the training room here at the Pierce Sports Center just to see if we could still touch 10 feet. And by the grace of God, we just got there.
It just barely got there.
I don't know if we both just got there.
I definitely got there.
You
There's
just got
video
there.
evidence.
I got there.
You got there, I got there.
That's all that matters.
We're not Matt Prosser. Matt could do it without jumping. Well, you know who got there? Ryan Mather got there for the pancake and the put away as Brandon Rattray able to pay off the defense from his partner. Carlson with the big serve. They go to Belvin, reach out and stuff someone. Brandon Rattray doing bad things. And you can hear the Ramblers bench ignite with that one. One all-star shutting down another. And the Blaze doing the double substitution. 9-5. Ramblers on top. I still don't like taking out Charles Belvin here, and I know doesn't have the best body language right now after getting rejected, but it's going to happen. You're going to swing, it's going to happen.
Part of the game.
I still think he offers so much to this Blaze squad. That's a missile that lands on another court. Here is Cuevas. Just checks in. 28 years old. Calls Newark, New Jersey his home, but he's had a lot of experience overseas. Brendan Rattray. What a dig there by Roeder. Oh, and no favors from Cuevas as he leaves it short. Cuevas has played in Slovenia, played in Japan, played in Morocco. And no saving that one from Mather. Side out, LA. They trail by 3, trying to avoid getting swept out of this NVA playoffs. As Southern exposure was during our second match of the day against the Texas Tyrants. The score holds up. We will have the top 4 teams, by far the most dominant 4 teams during the regular season, on to the semifinals. New Jersey now 11-0 on the year. Texas Tyrants are now 10-1. The Ramblers looking to improve to 10-1 themselves. That is blocked back, run down by Manoogian. Rattray with the roll. Cuevas saves it. Swinging away, high-quality volleyball here after the attack by Bastida. Cuevas gonna have to send this one deep. Can the Ramblers end this rally? Oh, what another dig here by Cruz. And returned by Manoogian. What a rally, Rattray. The windmill, that's collected. Roeder swinging away, and the double stuff ends it. The longest rally of the day ends with a Keegan and Duarte block. What a sequence.
Quality volleyball right there by both teams. Good defense. Wow. Dig after dig, and then a final terminal block there for the Ramblers to score that point.
That was a defensive clinic between the passing and then the block to terminate the point.
Ryan Mather just sitting there and back right, just taking dig after dig. And then, of course, Ryan Manoogian everywhere as well.
And that's going to be a bit of a confidence dump there if you're the LA Blaze. Everything the Ramblers threw at them, just not enough as they call timeout. And so will we. Back for more in a moment. Well, we do know no matter what happens, we're going to have some potential rematches in the semifinals. The New Jersey Freedom 2-0 this year against the defending champion OC Stunners. Stunners would certainly like another crack at New Jersey. Both teams missing their starting setters this weekend. Free ball, Brandon Rattray feasts. And of course, the Ramblers would like some redemption from their lone loss of the year to the Texas Tyrants. By the way, if you're curious, the Tyrants' only loss this year came, well, it's in New Jersey. Big dig by Manoogian. That one is saved before it goes into the crowd. And what the heck happened there?
Hi, Josh Duarte forgot how many contacts there were, as it looked like he was trying to set a teammate instead of putting that ball over the net.
Well, sometimes an outfielder will forget how many outs there are and flip the ball into the crowd. And we just saw a mental blunder there for the Ramblers, but no worry if you're a Las Vegas fan. Still up by 4. 12-8 here in the third set. That is left short. Very dangerously close to a footfall. Lead swells to 5. And Brandon Rattray, dangerous server. That comes over on 1 and lands out of play for another Rattray ace.
Brandon Rattray just showing how aggressive he can be from the inline when that toss is out in front of him. Goes up and gets it right on the inline. Looks like we might actually see a footfall challenge now.
And you know what? I think that's a good challenge because I was looking at the line there and I don't know, from my angle I thought, again, I didn't have as good of an angle as Robin Burton, of course, the line judge there, but I thought I saw foot on line, and we're going to find out.
It was very, very close.
If you're LA Blaze, what do you got to lose at this point? Down potentially 6 points in a winner and go home set. We could potentially end up with 2 5-setters and 2 sweeps today.
Potentially.
And what's interesting is, you know, Southern Exposure obviously is one of the last teams that got into the playoffs this year. The Tyrants were dominant all year. New Jersey was forced to 5 sets by a team that needed to win on the final day of the year just to make it. They're saying no foot fault. And I believe the LA Blaze only have 1 challenge remaining. So we're going to see a substitution. Ryan Mather, who's going to have a strong case for our man of the match honors, will come out. We'll see Joel Auerkamp, who is not available on Sunday. Oh my gosh. Brandon Rattray, he is heating up. Unleashes another ace, his second of this sequence. And the LA Blaze are going to have to bring back Charles Belvin, along with Torres to see if they have any life remaining. But Brandon Rattray is just setting himself apart. With Felix Chapman and the Dallas Tornadoes eliminated, Rattray is probably your most dynamic player left in the NVA. And Damani Lenore, even he can't jump that high.
Can't get that high. Then the service pressure from Brandon Rattray right now is just on another level. Ramblers running away with this one here.
Former UCLA standout. Not a lot of things he can't do. Nearly another race. Quick reflexes to even keep that one alive. And that is finished by Carlson. The Ramblers are putting a statement together here in this third set. 17-8, they are running away to the semifinals. So an ample opportunity to bring in their reserves as Keegan's day is likely done. And we welcome to the court Spencer Andrews. Another big serve by Rattray. Where is he finding this juice? Carlson tools the block. Your two all-stars in Belvin and Lenore. Still not enough to shut down this Rambler train. And the Blaze are going to call their final timeout. We'll take one as well. Back for the conclusion of Game 3 here at the Pierce Sports Center. Well, the service pressure of Brandon Rattray right now, there's just no slowing this down if you're the LA Blaze. And you know, while his offensive numbers today are not going to be typical Brandon Rattray because he hasn't had to, until that serve, he had been taking over this third set, finishing off the LA Blaze potentially. We do have a substitution during that last timeout. And out on the court will be Daniel Matheny. 6'7" middle. First time we've seen him. That is too long. Matheny, this is his first appearance of the year, by the way, for the Las Vegas Ramblers. And of course, part of the reason that Matheny is here is that they need some depth at the middle position, with Vaz not available today and Aguiar out as well. The Ramblers playing everybody except for Nick England. Also, I don't think Tanner Maxwell has played, so. Just Tanner and Nick remaining. And a chance here to see Matheny serve. Oh, and a misfire. That ball slick at this point of the match. And the ball handling error. Oh, the Blaze there, flame is starting to fan out. 21-9, getting blown out here in this third set. Roeder able to bury that. So the Blaze get into double figures. 21-10. Is there any final flame burning for this LA Blaze squad? Didn't make the playoffs last year. were able to get a lot of help from others to get there this year, as they lost 6 matches in a row. But being in a conference with the Untouchables and the Sasquatch did them a favor. And this will be our camp serving to try to draw the Ramblers closer to the semifinals. Lefty serving, unleashes the ace. And the Blaze knew it, and you could tell by their body language that they have accepted their fate. 23-10. The Ramblers closing the door. Looking for their 7th win in a row. And looking to send the Blaze into the offseason with 7 losses in a row. That is blocked back. From the back row, oh, there's a finish from Roeder. We'll see if Nicholas Dennis, who's coming in as a server now, has any magic left in that arm. Deep dump by Belvin. Ramblers poked by Carlson over, and this will be blocked down by Carnegie. Oh, it's like a vulture on the side of the road. Matt Carnegie with the rejection, and the Ramblers have 13 match points. I think that'll probably be enough. Carlson trying to end it on his first serve. He won't. 24-12, match point number 2. LA Blaze have not won a match, as we said earlier, since May 8th, and well, their next chance to try to win a match will be on April 14th, 2023, unless there's a miracle on this side of the court. And there will not be, as the Ramblers decisively take game number 3, 25-12, and they are safely into the semifinals as they knock off the LA Blaze today. First 2 sets were very much in question. 25-23, 25-21. The third set, not so lucky, 25-12. As the Ramblers behind Ryan Mather, Brandon Rattray, setter Michael Keegan, and a great defensive effort. Cannot understate that enough from Ryan Manugian, who just does all the little things out there in the court to allow his offensive-minded friends to do their business.
Yep. Just too many weapons from Las Vegas tonight, and the Blaze, you know, they put up a good fight in those first 2 sets, and then once Ramblers ran away with set number 3, the Blaze just didn't really get a chance to catch up and offer up much of a fight here, but Ramblers really finding their stride, advancing to the semifinals, playing a very good brand of volleyball that they are so well known to do, and just a lot of dangerous weapons, a very dynamic team, very dynamic offense, good disciplined blocking, obviously great passing and serve reception. So a lot of things going in favor of the Ramblers there to move on to the semifinals and get set to play the Texas Tyrants tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m.
So as the teams talk it over on the court, the LA Blaze, listen, they don't have anything to be ashamed of. The LA Blaze last year had to play the final match of the regular season, knowing that if they lost 1 set, their season was over. And after they lost that set, still had to finish the year out. This year, started off strong, 3-1. A little bit of a back into the playoffs. I mean, I guess you could say a lot way back to the playoffs, losing their last 6 regular season matches. But you just got to get there. And this is something that they can build on. They did not have Travis O'Gorman today. Could have been a very different match if he was available. At least in those first couple sets were more competitive. But in that third set, you're seeing a Las Vegas Ramblers squad, Matt, that, you know, the Texas Tyrants tomorrow are going to really need a strong game plan to slow them down. The Tyrants, I haven't seen them get any better from where they were when these teams first played. However, the Ramblers have absolutely continued to improve.
Well, we're set up for a very exciting semifinal as we will throw it over to Noah with our interview with the man of the match from
Who do you
the
think that
Ramblers.
is?
Thank you.
Well, it's Brandon Rattray with Noah Chast.
Oh, thank you, guys. And you said it. I am here with Brandon Rattray, our man of the match. And Brandon, I mean, doing it all offensively, of course, but your serving came alive in that third set. What was working for you?
My toss. My toss was working. It was lining up good. I was fired up. They were talking some smack on the other side of the net. Not a smart idea on their part, but yeah, just toss was good and just went after it. Fired up, good energy from the boys. Everyone's telling me to go back there and rip it, so I do as the boys tell me to do. I went back there and ripped it and got a couple good ones.
A lot of absurd defense from your team defense all the way around. How impressive and joyful is that to see?
It's great to see. It just shows how much we want it. Last year we lost in the championship, and a lot of guys aren't too happy about that on our team, and we want vengeance.
Another complete win. You've had a lot of those recently. What level of confidence is this Rambler team playing at?
Oh, all-time high, baby. We're running with it. We're more confident than ever, getting these wins, and we're going to keep rumbling. So, rambling. Yeah, tomorrow. Big one tomorrow, 3 o'clock, Tyrants.
And you have now set up a rematch with the Tyrant team that handed you your lone loss on the season. How excited are you for that?
Oh, I'm pumped to get another chance to go at it. I was really sick last match. I threw up a couple times mid-match. We were down a couple of guys, and I am ready for tomorrow.
How are you feeling now?
They better bring it. I'll tell you that. They better bring it for a good match.
Well, I'm excited to see both teams bring it tomorrow on our semifinal match. Nick, Ira, I'll send it back to you. Or Matt and Ira, my apologies.
He's Matt. I'm Ira. Thank you,
Ouch,
Noah, and our man of the match, Brandon Rattray. You look at the numbers again. He didn't have the kills that he typically has. He didn't need to. You had Ryan Mather, who started strong in that first set, had 8 kills, finished with 11. 52% day for him, 21 attempts. Only 15 swings for Brandon Rattray. Talking about team maintenance, his arm can't be that tired.
No, and he hit at a 47% hitting efficiency through that match, so he was very efficient offensively with those 15 attempts, but also able to score points from the end line as well.
Yeah, and 7 kills for him, as you said, 56% passing rate, and also those 4 aces along with 17 service attempts. He was a very difficult obstacle back there for the LA Blaze. LA Blaze didn't play poorly today. They passed at a 54% rate. They got 8 kills from Roeder, 6 from Belvin. Again, just not enough firepower, and for them, they'll go into the offseason trying to get better as we see what evolution we have here in the NVA. But your final thoughts here today on what you saw with a Rambler squad that looks poised to get that vengeance that Brandon's talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to congratulate the Blaze on making it to the quarterfinals, right? There's a small victory there. They've got some work to do in the offseason, but meanwhile, for the Ramblers, just like Coach Monterola said, one box checked on the way to their goal, which is a championship. Now a little rematch from a few weeks back against Tyrants in the semifinals, and then, that sets up for a very exciting match tomorrow afternoon.
Sets us up for 2 semifinal matches tomorrow, starting at 3 p.m. Pacific time, as the Texas Tyrants take on these Las Vegas Ramblers, 2 teams that are 10-1 on the year. You won't want to miss that one. And then for the 3rd time this season, at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern, now the 11-0 New Jersey Freedom taking on the defending champion. Now 8-3 OC Stunners, both needed 5 sets to get to the semifinals. Should be 2 very entertaining ones tomorrow. So for my partner Matt Prosser and Noah Chess on the sideline, I'm Ira Thor saying so long from the Pierce Sports Center in San Bernardino, California, where our final score in 3 sets, the Las Vegas Ramblers in the quarterfinals all over the LA Blaze, 25-23, 21, and 12. They win 3 sets to none. A reminder that all games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of the National Volleyball Association and